Hello, welcome to a tutorial thing. Not really too sure what to call this. It's a tutorial on how to mod to Sonic.exe the Disaster 2D remake. Been getting a few comments about this, so I might as well show you how to do it for my 100 subscriber thing. By the way, thank you for all of that. Never thought I'd really get there. Thanks for liking the stuff I do. Anyway, let's get into it. Basically, what you want to do, you want to go into your folder. For example, if you're trying to mod the game and add your own music into it, first of all, you're going to want to get a file from, what's it called? You're going to want to get an OGG file of the song you want, and type in the exact same name of the file you want to replace, like, it with. For example, if I want to, like, this OGG file I have here, I'm not going to show you it because it's for something in the future, but, for example, I name this, like, music Imagine Forest _ chase, and then I swap it over, and then when you go in game, you should hear this song instead of the normal, like, you know, Imagine Forest chase. If you're trying to mod, like, the game with sprites and etc., first of all, you're going to need a modified data.dll, because you won't be able to get past a special screen without it. Like, basically there's a screen that prevents you from getting past if it's found that you've been modding the game. Like, in any way, if you change a single pixel, it will still show up. You will need this. You will also need a modified data.win. First of all, the thing you need to modify the game's files and, like, all of that shit, is the Undertale mod tool. Basically, in this, it was originally meant for Undertale, but it essentially compiles all of the sprites, where you can actually import and export to your heart's content. You can get it simply by just searching it Undertale. You can get it simply by entering Undertale mod tool, go to GitHub, and then you should be able to see all of the latest downloads, and download the one that you think you should need. Second of all, you need to download the correct version, so I suggest going to Discord and joining the official 2D disaster modding server, because there's instructions there that can help you, and it will probably help you more than this. And as you can see, here are all of the files in the game. You won't be able to access some before unless you're like an absolute like you're just really good and know all about this stuff, but I doubt that you do, because you're kind of just here for editing the sprites. Now here is a much less simpler way of editing the music files, but in here you can actually edit the sound effect files too. So say there's this one here, hold on, there's this here, play it. I could, for example, I could replace this with an actual gunshot from real life if I really wanted to, and it'll appear in game. You can also change the volume and the pitch and the effects, but I don't really think these two do much. As I said before, you've got to name the file the exact same thing, and you've got to import it. You click on audio, no, you click on audio file if you want to import or export a song or a sound effect. You go to import if you want to replace the song, and export if you want to get the song on your desktop or in your downloads. You can play it and stop it so you can hear what it sounds like. And that's kind of it when it comes to sound mods. And then when it comes to sprites, it's a bit more complicated. So let's get let's get menu exe, for example. As you can see, he has his finger there English. His finger waving animation. If I wanted to, I could, sorry for all the examples by the way, I could change this with Sunky, just Sunky. And if you want to, you can individually make out the frames to make your own animation. As far as I know, you can't add more animations. I've tried that, you can't. You gotta have to stick with what you've got. You've got all of these. So let's start with... Hold on, let me find a... Tell you what, let's go with Knuckles. Now, for example, I've got Knuckles' idol here. What you want to do, you want to double click, you want to go onto this, double click that, make sure it's blue. You can change the size and all of that, but that's not really important if you're trying to like replace sprites and etc. Double click that. You go to import for replacing stuff like you did with the music, or you go to export if you want to, hold on, let me show you an example. You name it whatever you want. I usually name mine numbers or random jumbles of letters just for convenience. Also, what you want is this thing called libresprite. Libresprite is a sprite editing software. You could do any other sprite editing software, but this one will matter the most. You go into this, and then you see a sprite. You drag and drop it, and then here are your colours here. Here are the colours that are are already in the sprite, and you can change it. Like right now, I can make Knuckles look extremely angry. Can make him have a sad face. And this tool is for moving. If you do this, you can select any part of the body and it will move it. Pretty nifty, not gonna lie. Yeah, you could just change it to do that. You can make him look like this, which doesn't look too great. Or you could just make him look like normal. If you're trying to make your own mod, you can also go to the spriters resource. Basically in here you can find all your sprites and all that stuff. Like you could type in Sonic, for example. And a bunch of different sprites come up. Make sure you absolutely credit the people who made the sprites though. Don't go taking everything willy-nilly, because you will need to credit people if you don't want like your ass being attacked online. Like that, you're gonna need to credit people. But yeah, you can find a lot of stuff here. Not every sprite sheet will have the stuff you're looking for. Most of them are just made for fun. But most of them are actually meant for in-game use, so you can actually use them for that. They have most characters, but if your character isn't there, you can always try other sprite sites or search in Google Images, although that might not help. Anyway, back to Knuckles here. If I want to move Knuckles' fist down, I can do this. And just for an example, I'll add this to the game and see what it looks like. Now, what you want to do to save your file, you could do save to be quick, or if you want to be extra careful, you could do save as. You could do one PNG, or you can save it as multiple files if it doesn't work there. An A sprite file is used for loading up the same sprite from before, so if you want to pick up where you left off from before, just do that. It's essentially like a save point. You want to overwrite that. Now what you want to do, instead of exporting it this time, you want to import. And you want to make sure it's the exact same size or else it's going to look really weird. And you could do that with any sprite in the game, as far as I know. Most sprites, are like, for example, there was a gas sprite I encountered earlier. Let me try and find that. Well, You get my point. You can't, even if you did like change some sprites, you wouldn't I don't think you'd be able to see it. So also please, if there's any inconsistencies in what I'm explaining, please correct me in the comments. By all means, honestly, don't mind. But yeah, that's essentially how you mod sprites. Now what you want to do, if you want to save your sprite, you go to save, you go to the file where you go to, like, for example, this is on my desktop here, but if you have it in your games folder, if you have one of those, or anything like that, you want to go in there, select the disaster folder you want the mod to be on. I highly suggest you make backups in case you don't like what the mod looks like, or if you just don't like it. I suggest copy and pasting your original vanilla disaster, and then so then you can just get rid of that if you want, instead of having to go back to Game Jolt and download it all over again. I'll supply all of the downloads below. But basically, here's what you want to do. You go into data.win, you replace it. This just takes a little while. This is normal, by the way. By the way, if you get a little warning at the start, that doesn't mean much. It's just the type of game that it is. Like there's no official mod support as of now, so I don't think the devs expected you to go rummaging through the files. Or they did, I don't know. I mean, that's probably why they put, like, measures in place to stop you from modding, but yeah, basically, this is it. You want to close libresprite there. You will also need, to test it out by yourself, you'll also need radmin. And then you just launch the game as normal, but this time you launch the game twice so you can play with yourself to test it out. Like, for example, just press it once. Oh right, the data.dll. This is what happens when you try to open it without the data.dll. It doesn't go very well, as you can see, but you know. You can't get past this without the modified data.dll. So you want to go into this. I'm going to paste the data.dll here, and I'm going to replace it. You need, like, by any circumstance, you need this modified data.dll to play the game at all. You modify a single sprite, and it doesn't appear. You're gonna hear a tad bit of noise here, but hold on. So basically, yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to open the game up twice to test it. And then I want to go to Knuckles. Go to the character you've modified. As you can see, I've got a modified music files in here. You can do the same too. And now, as you see, here's our angry looking Knuckles. As I said, as you could see before, like, I only edited the idle. Nothing else will be changed. But you can edit almost anything in the game that has a sprite. You can edit the background of this zone. You can edit Sonic. You can edit the icons for the health. You can literally edit anything you'd like. Even the icons for the abilities. Like, you see the recharge icons. You can edit those too. Yeah, anyways, that's kind of it for the tutorial thingy. I'll see you all later. Thanks for the support when it comes to, you know, making the Shadow mod. I hope to, like, impress you all with the next update, and I'll see you later. This is for the people who couldn't, you know, mod the game. See ya.